Hey there guys, and welcome back to Unshaded Jade. Welcome to the packing mess. So tomorrow I am off to Uganda. I'm going for just under 3 months as part of my ICS placement. In short, I was successfully interviewed for ICS, which is a predominantly UK government funded program, and I'm working with the charity Restless Development. I love it because I found it so hard to find like ethical, sustainable volunteer work that doesn't just fall into the trap of like volontourism. And some volontourism, I don't know if you know, but it can perpetuate a much bigger cycle which actually can really negatively affect the people that you think you're helping. So for example, there are like fake orphanage systems in some countries. Some large companies charge you a huge amount to go volunteer in a country even though they're taking most of the profit off of it. Like, the money's not actually going to the beneficiaries. Another issue with work with children is a lot of volunteers can become attached to children but only be staying for like 2 weeks, for example, and then leave, and then you get a new round of volunteers and a new round of volunteers. And I watched this mini documentary about the effect that it actually had on kids who, you know, would have all these international volunteers coming in at such a high turnover rate, and they would grow up with kind of a lack of stability in their lives, and there's just a lot of potential issues with volunteering abroad. I don't know if you've ever heard of the white saviour complex, but this is something that I've done a lot of research on, something that like I've tried to be conscious of. The idea of it is that white volunteers come into black spaces almost with the notion that, okay, I'm going to change the world. I'm going to improve everything for these people because I'm in such a better position than they are, and you know, I'm gonna save their lives. The locals are quite passive, you know what I mean, as though they're not really people who can go change things themselves. It's like you have to come in and like save them. Oh, hello. You can see this a lot in the photography and media that people can often share from volunteer projects. You've got that like typical image of like a white volunteer surrounded by black children, and this whole sort of thing of like, yeah, like I'm helping save the children, even though in reality it could often just make you look like a good person even though it's not really benefiting the kids that much. A bit of a tangent, but that is kind of the white saviour complex, some of the issues around international volunteering, just I think it's quite an important issue. All I say is do your research, make sure that the charity you're volunteering for has aims with longevity, make sure that you're kind of going for more than just a few weeks, preferably. It depends on the type of work, but just do your research, see how transparent the company slash charity are about where all the money's going and about the kind of work you'll be doing. But yes, I got onto ICS, which is really exciting, and I'll be working with Restless Development. I went to a 4-day training camp in the UK where I met my whole team of young people. They're all bloody amazing. I'm so excited. Everyone is so like-minded. Like, I think having to be interviewed weeds out kind of people who just want to go for like a free holiday or something like that. And the awesome thing is, the training that we receive, a group of Ugandan young volunteers are receiving the same training, so that when we go to Uganda, the two groups, like the UK volunteers and the Ugandan volunteers, we're going to join up and form one big team. We're going to have 1 week of like foundation training all together, and then I'm going to have a Ugandan counterpart who's like my partner, so it's kind of like a cross-cultural exchange, and then we'll be split off into 4 rural villages. I'm going to be living with a Ugandan host family, which is so exciting, just for like the authentic cultural experience. They will cook me vegan food apparently, which is amazing. And the great thing is, the communities, those villages, have actually asked the charity to be there. So it's not just like the Western world charity coming in and being like, we know what your community needs to fix yourselves so that you can become better. It's not like that. It's more the communities say, hey, we'd really love to improve this in our community. We'd really love if your charity could like help us do that. And then based off what the communities say, we basically work to help enact that. It's focused on sexual health and HIV prevention predominantly. But yeah, I'm really excited. But your gal is dumb, okay? Because I've not started packing. I'm going tomorrow, and last week we received an email saying like, oh, if you still need to do some last minute packing, then da-da-da-da-da. And that was a week ago. I was like, mate, we've still got a week. A week is a long time. So now, day before, I'm packing. But I have been putting things aside. I've got my anti-malarials, vaccines in my body. I'm just made of vaccines. So yeah, let's get packing. Got the music going, got loads of clothes ready. I found this, and it's the most perfect dress ever. a lot of sun cream, a lot of mosquito repellent. I'm bringing a travel yoga mat. Here's how to like pack a packing cube to its maximum. Look what I have for our cultural night. I found this and I was like, yeah. Homemade first aid kit with a lot of stuff. Oh, and a bit scary, I have to take my temperature every day, and apparently if I'm 1 degree over normal, I have to assume I have malaria and then go to a doctor ASAP. Might suppose how the best thing ever for travelling. Folk just came in and he was like, the state of your room, Jade. And I just looked at him and I was like, it's clean. What are you on about? It's an organised mess. Yeah, I'm just gonna finish this later. Get on with some other tasks right now. Super excited. I hope you guys have the loveliest 2.5 months. Go have another little adventure. Bye.